Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Prehistoric Kingdom Beta. My name is Swoop there, and here we are building I guess I want to call it an upmarket forest cabin, I suppose. I've had this really big obsession with tiny houses recently, and when I say obsession, I actually kind of want to build one, and I think I'm going to. I would like to build one. They're a lot cheaper than houses. They have everything that you need, and I live in a city apartment at the moment, 1 bedroom, and to be honest, I probably already basically live in the footprint of what a tiny home would be. So I thought I just want to build a tiny home in Prehistoric Kingdom, and then I started to build it, and then I was like, oh, nah, maybe I could turn this into a cabin, and that's exactly what I did. So I turned it into a bit of a self-contained cabin, and then I decided that one wasn't enough and that I wanted to replicate it and make about 5 or 6 so that, you kind of had the option if you were coming out to this Fercola Mountain Park to book a cabin for the weekend or however long you wanted to stay, and you had this self-contained area where you could go and relax and chill out with either your family or your partner. And I mean, I don't think that they would be cheap by any stretch of the imagination. I think this kind of thing would probably cost quite a lot of money, but I mean, if you saved up and you were keen to do it, then why not? So at the moment I'm just building the cabin itself, and then I end up going up the mountain and building a check-in building as well, where you can go and park your car, and then you kind of have to walk up a path from that building to, or down a path depending on which cabin you've booked, to the cabin. And some of them have campfires, some of them have really nice views, so just depending on your budget, I suppose, and which cabin you decide to book, presumably online. I guess most things are done online these days. So I didn't want it to be big. I wanted it to be really small, just a double bed. And then I guess if you have kids or whatever, they can bring in, a cot, or there could be a fold out couch or whatever you like. And so I just wanted it to be really small and intimate and not very big, like very tiny house-esque, I suppose. So yeah, that's where I'm at with the building in this video at this stage. I'll talk a little bit more about it, and I'm going to take you guys on a really good live tour at the end of this video too, because I have done a lot off camera, a lot off camera. A lot of what you'll see today is actually video that I have downloaded from my stream that I did recently, and so you will notice that perhaps some of the quality isn't as good as it would normally be. That's because it has been taken from a YouTube stream, which is the reason why. So I thought I would talk a little bit also about the recent trailer that has been released. Usually I would really jump on those trailers and I would pick them apart and I would talk to you guys about my thoughts, etc, etc. You'll be able to see that from everything else that I've done with the devlogs and things like that. But to be honest, I watched the trailer and it was labelled a teaser trailer, so I understand, I do get it, but I didn't think there was anything to cover, to be honest. It was just telling us when the release date was, which for all of you that don't know, it is the 27th of this month for early access. Bear in mind, it is still going to be in early access. It's not a complete game. And so that was the date, which I assumed they would give us a date around that time, towards the end of April. And then that was it, really. There wasn't anything new. Oh, I take that back. There was one new dinosaur, the Triceratops. I'll pop a screenshot in here for you. It looks amazing, and I'm really excited to be able to build for that dinosaur. But apart from that, there wasn't really anything that I could spot that really stood out. There might have been a few new plants here and there, but aside from that, there wasn't much. So I didn't really want to make a video on it because there wasn't really much for me to say. So I just left it, and I'm sure that all of you have seen it by now. When they release the early access trailer, I will be picking that to pieces because that is going to have more dinosaurs, probably new pieces, and likely a few extra fun things for myself and you guys to actually look at and talk about. So yeah, that's the reason why I didn't do that. I was a bit disappointed with the teaser trailer, but I guess, as they say, it is a teaser trailer, and really the purpose of that trailer itself was to just let everybody know what the release date was, and possibly to have a little bit of Nigel Marven and his voiceovers in there, just so that, I guess people could really know that he was still going to be a part of the project. At the moment, you can see I'm building the hotel. Well, when I say the hotel, the check-in lounge, I suppose it is. And I was looking at this hotel in Japan, or it might have actually been in Thailand, beg your pardon. And it had like this little glass enclosed, I don't want to say greenhouse because that's not what it is, but it was just a tree basically encased in glass, and it was growing through the roof of the building. So I put that into this building because I thought that that would be a really cool addition. So that's in there, and then I put like a few ferns and things in the bottom and add a few extra things in and so on, so that it looks a little bit more natural than just a tree in dirt. But I wanted that to be a feature of that building because I don't know, I guess I just thought it was a bit unique and a bit fun. I'm going in now, you can see, and I'm just changing up some of the furnishings in the cabin. I really wanted the cabin to look very, very simple. Nothing in there is out of control detailed. I don't love doing interiors. I won't lie to you guys. Like, interiors really aren't my thing. If it's like a viewing area or whatever, it's a bit different because all you need to do in a viewing area really is put in some seating where they can look at the dinosaurs and some signage where the guests, I guess, can read, potentially a screen where they can look at some videos of the whatever's in that habitat, and then that's it. Whereas with these cabins, I kind of did have to go in and put a couch and a TV on the wall and a bed, which the bed looks atrocious, by the way, but we'll come to that later. And, an implied bathroom and things like that, because you could see it through the windows. And I didn't want to have like those windows that are reflective because I wanted to be able to be inside the building and see the view from every window that I created. So I did just do the interior of one cabin, and then I went around and replicated it because, like I say, I'm not a massive fan of, making interiors. So if I can avoid them, I will. If you can't see them, you likely won't have anything inside there, which, is just my style. And then I went in and I put some fencing on the deck, as you can see, to keep people safe. And I popped in an extra door because I thought one probably wasn't enough. If you want to come out to the front deck, then you probably need a door on the side. I also really enjoyed building a little fireplace inside the cabin. That was so much fun. So when we come to the live sort of walkthrough later, I will show you guys exactly what that is. And then I just really loved building this entire build, to be honest. It was very piecemeal. I didn't really spend longer than I think an hour at a time doing this, but I think all up it probably took me 6 or 7 hours. But I just kind of took my time. I was chatting to people on my stream chat, so that's why there might be a few pauses here and there. And then I sort of cut it all together so that you guys could have it in just a dedicated episode. I've tried to talk a little bit more in this video today, but I am going to shush now because I do have a lot to say in the live tour at the end. I think there is only about 3 minutes of the speed build left, so you can either skip to the end of the speed build or you can watch the rest, and then I will see you in the live tour at the end. Hello everyone, welcome back from the speed build, and here we are outside the cabin and check-in area for the mountainside wood log cabins, or I guess they're just wooden cabins really, they're not really logs. You can see probably from here that I have done a lot more off camera than you would have seen in the stream. I've popped in this walkway that comes down from where you check in. I've also put in a lot of the walkways, like the barriers on the sides. I've put in a walkway down to the park, and I've also put in a driveway that goes all the way to the front of the park that way. So I'm going to jump on down and show you guys what I have done, and while I'm doing that I will also talk a little bit about my excitement, I suppose, for the 21st when the new trailer is going to be released. So if you were driving along, you would come driving along this driveway here, and you would come on up this way. So you'd come through, there's a few plants that they need to kind of get off the road, and then you would arrive at this area here. Now you're directed up this way to the car park. So you would come into the car park here, and this side would be staff parking. You'd pop your car into one of these spaces here. There are only enough spaces for the amount of cabins that I have built. And then you would come on into this building to book yourself into your cabin. So you come on in, there are I guess this is the tree that I was talking about in the speed build that kind of has grown through, and then there's a skylight in the roof. I'm not sure who built this little Shuvia statue. It was on the Discord share, so I'll just zoom in on it so that you guys can get a good look. And credit to whoever built that, it was not me, but I really loved it, so I wanted to pop it in. I also have some chairs over here that I didn't build, and then I have this beautiful display, I guess, where people can put their papers and things. That was built by my friend Mrs. T-Rex, so get on over to her channel. She's great at interior detailing, which is definitely not my forte. So, you know, if they're busy, you would come and sit down here on this seat, plonk yourself down, and you have a beautiful vista, just a stunning vista. And then you pop over here, book yourself in, have one last look at the stunning view out of the window. What I like about this building is you really can't see any of the rest of the park. Like, there's kind of this little bit of the tropical house peeking through in the background, but you really can't see much. Like, it just does give you that sense that you're really out in the middle of nowhere, and you just have this beautiful vista around you. So then you've booked yourself in, and we have booked ourselves the Vista cabin for today. So we are going to go to the Vista cabin. They told us to follow the signs, so we're just going to head on up over here and we'll head to the Vista cabin. So you can see there's one over here, that's the tree cabin, and then up there is fern cabin. And then along this little path here is Vista cabin. So we just leave our car behind and bring our luggage. I'm sure they'd probably give us like a little trolley or something if we had like some big suitcases or whatever. And then you head on down through here following the path. And then you arrive at your front door. Now there's some logs in there for your wood fire, and then you just head on through the door. And here we are inside our cabin. So we've got the bed, which I am not proud of, but we will tackle that later. To be honest, I did have a blanket on there, but it had a couple of bugs, so I just removed it. And then there are some hooks on the wall if you want to put your coats, some artwork. This door is an implied bathroom door. Then you have this beautiful vista at your bedroom. So imagine waking up and being able to look out and see these mountains and all this beautiful peace. And then these lights do come on in the evening, so we can look at that in a minute. TV on the wall, implied kitchen, which I haven't really detailed at all. And then you've got this door here that you could come out onto your deck, and you can walk to the front of your balcony and sit out here if you wanted to, and look down on this stunning vista that you have. Basically, the only thing you can see from your cabin is the check-in building, and everything else is just peace and tranquility. So that is the Vista cabin. We'll just head back out. There's also a skylight in the roof. I just really like the idea of everything having a lot of natural light. If we head back out, we can head up to Fern cabin, which in my opinion is actually the best cabin. It does have probably the best views. The only problem is you will see the roof of the Vista cabin, which is why I thought we would look at the Vista cabin first. So we'll just head on up, straight up, and then across here, and down here into Fern cabin, which aptly has a fern growing straight out of the deck. We probably could fix that. And then in the back door here, the cabins are the same, so we'll just head across straight through the window, and you can see kind of this view is just stunning as well. Like, you can really see the water, but you can see more of the park, I suppose, and you've got this cabin in front of you, plus you can also see the check-in there and the other cabins that are around you. So that's why I think the Vista cabin probably would be the most expensive, because there's not really anything around you once you're in there. It's just you and the nature. Can't see any dinosaurs from any of the cabins, unfortunately, but maybe eventually I will sort that out. So then you've got the other two cabins on this side. And then if you were like with a young family, I suppose you would probably book one of the campfire cabins. So you've got campfire cabin 1 and campfire cabin 2, and you'd come on down this way, and you would, come and check yourself into whichever cabin. So this is campfire cabin 2, and there's a broom there. I suppose people would maybe want to sweep up after themselves, but we're going to head on down to campfire cabin 1. And as you're doing that, you pass this walkway, or this ramp, I suppose. When you sort of walk through from one of the upper cabins, you have a choice. You can come back through the check-in building and then walk down this ramp to access the park, or you can just walk down the campfire cabin pathways. I guess if you were, working here, you'd probably discourage people from walking down these pathways because other people have booked them. Then you come on down here, and then if you booked this cabin here, you still have a decent view, but it is down a bit further, so it's not quite as nice. And your front door is here, but we're going to head on past that, because in these cabins you have like a little fire pit, like a little campfire where you could come and roast some marshmallows, or, I don't know, tell scary stories, whatever you decide you wanted to do. But there's that one there, and then in the other cabin over this side, they also have a campfire just here. So you kind of have your own little space. This cabin looks out onto not towards the park, it looks back this way. Still have a little bit of a mountain view, but you do have the road on this side. So I think these cabins down in this side would probably be just a little bit cheaper, because they are down in the gully, whereas these ones are kind of up on the hill, that elevated side. So let's have a quick look at the walkway. So if you've gone and put all your stuff in your cabin, you can come back through here, and then you head on down this way. I think I'll put some signs in during a stream, just so that you can see, this way to the park and so on. Come on down here, and then you'll head down this way. I was going to ask Mrs. T-Rex if she would send me over some of her golf carts, because she's made some incredible little golf carts that I could pop in, and then they can ferry people down to this pathway here should they require it, because it is a bit of a walk. If you weren't very limber, it probably would be a bit of a trot, but most people wouldn't have too much trouble. And then you're just here looking out onto the mammoth enclosure, and you have access to the park now, so you can choose to go this way, or eventually when I connect it up, you could also choose to go that way. And there will be signs here for the people that kind of are staying in the cabins to tell them what's which way, so that they can really get to grips with it. And there you go. So that is my cabin build, and there they all are. You can see the little kind of plumes of smoke coming up. I'll just show everybody, I'm really quite proud of my little fireplace. I really loved building it, and I'll change the lighting so what you guys can see is actually how the little lights light up at night. So let's just head into this cabin here, and let's change up the lighting. There we go. So you can see the lights turn on, and this would be sort of a very early sunrise. The sun kind of comes flooding in and kind of wakes you up. It's still really dark on this side of the cabin, and you've got this beautiful sunlight coming through. The fire's keeping you warm, or if the sun's going down, you'd kind of have, there you go, you'd really have like a really nice ambience, and you kind of have the stars coming out at night. And then if we make it really dark and you've gone to sleep with the fire still going and you wanted to leave those fairy lights on, this is kind of the the ambience you'd have. This beautiful, beautiful game. Honestly, it's so nice. I just love it. There we go. Stunning. Alright guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. On the 21st, in Australia it will be the 22nd, but on the 21st they are going to release the full trailer for this stunning game, so I will definitely be picking that apart. I'll be talking all about it, talking how much I'm really excited for it, and I guess a little bit more about my intentions for the future. If the beta saves do save, I am going to continue on in Fercola Mountain Park. I'm really enjoying building in it at the moment. I'm not feeling burnt out by it, so I'm going to keep on cruising along until I complete it, hopefully. And I also have a couple of sneaky projects in the works that will definitely be coming along soon. So I am really excited for that as well. So I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a like and a comment underneath my video. It really does help out the channel, particularly since I've been quite inactive recently. I intend to ramp that back up. So thanks you so much again, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.